Madame Benedict Fleischer. Now call on the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment for our statement, deputizing for the Minister of Trade. Madam, to the podium, please.
Okay. Your Excellency, the Vice President and Minister for Women's Affairs, the Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Cabinet Ministers, Honorable Secretary to Cabinet, Deputy Executive Director of the Enhanced Integrated Framework, distinguished delegates from the Enhanced Integrated Framework, Managing Director, Gambia International Airline and staff, the Managing Director of Gambia Civil Aviation Authority, security chiefs, heads of governments and parastatals. I also want to salute, although in absentia, the Ambassador of Turkey, who has been the donor facilitator for the Enhanced Integrated Framework, heads of departments, members of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Greetings from the Honorable Minister of Trade, who, due to conflicting national engagements, cannot be here with us today. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honor and a personal pleasure to make a statement on the occasion of this launch of the Trade Facilitation Project at the Gambia International Airport. Thank you all for joining us today. Your presence here is not only in joyous celebration of the occasion, but it is an expression of your interest in the advancement of the Gambian economy. This Trade Facilitation Initiative, as we call it, also known as the Cargo Complex, there's a long history to this, but I will just make it short. Why we are calling it the Trade Facilitation Initiative? I think everybody has heard the MD say that EIF is not in the habit of funding infrastructure. Although the purpose of EIF is to help least developed countries to address the supply side constraints of trade. Therefore, we in the Gambia had to look at a way of convincing the donors that it is not infrastructure, but rather a trade facilitation project. And I think we have been successful. Thus, the name that we have given it today, Trade Facilitation Cargo Complex. The Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration is indeed very close to this project. We have worked closely with sectors and development partners to develop to support the development of the trade-related infrastructure in the Gambia. As focal point of the EIF, it therefore gives me great joy to see it materialize from planning stages to its completion. I would sincerely like to thank the EIF Secretariat for the support through all the stages of the project. From the development of the project document, the provision of financing resources, and the interest they have shown to ensure this project is successfully implemented. I would also like to thank the staff of the Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration, and Employment. They have worked tirelessly to make sure that this project is indeed completed and materialized. And by extension, I want to also thank the former EIF coordinator, Mr. Bai Job, who has been with us through and through. The overall objective of the cargo complex, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, is to increase national participation in international trade by stimulating both the local and national economy and contributing to improved livelihoods in tourism, horticulture, and the fisheries subsectors. Through this cargo complex, trade facilitation in the Gambia will not only be enhanced by increasing capacity at GIA and Banjul International Airport, but will directly enable small and medium-sized exporters to access services of GIA at competitive rates. This project will also help to ensure that for the first time, GIA will be able to scan large pallets of goods, and this will help ensure more efficient and effective services, as the cost of exports for small and medium-sized operators will be significantly reduced. The Ministry of Trade will continue to support GCAA to ensure the sustainability of the impact of this complex. We will support GIA initiatives to link up with other international airlines to provide efficient export services in the horticulture, fisheries, and tourism industries. Mr. Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, one of the biggest benefits of this particular complex is that it will enable GIA and its stakeholders to meet international safety and security standards in the handling of cargo. I do strongly believe that with this complex, the Gambia will be able to attract other international airlines, particularly for the transportation of cargo. I would like to call on our key stakeholders, particularly government institutions, to support GIA and the Gambia Civil Aviation in their efforts to improve the competitiveness of the Banjul International Airport and making it a hub for trade in the sub-region. I'm also calling on the private sector, especially smallholder exporters and importers of food-related products, to utilize the services of the complex. GIA now has the capacity to be able to store significant quantities of perishable and non-perishable goods in accordance with international standards and best practices. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot conclude without emphasizing our gratitude for the support that EIF has continued to provide to the Gambia, not just in the building capacity to trade and trade-related institutions, exporters and smallholder businesses, but also in improving and providing equipment and hard infrastructure to help address some of the development challenges of our country. I would therefore like to thank the Secretariat and donors through the Executive Director, Madam Annette, for the close collaboration with the Ministry of Trade. We will continue to work closely with the AIF in our efforts to strengthen our collaboration with development partners in support of trade capacity development in the Gambia. Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, finally, let me conclude by emphasizing the need for all stakeholders to work together to ensure the successful utilization of this facility, which will no doubt support the development of trade in the Gambia. I thank you all for your kind attention. Have a good celebration.
Thank you very much, Madam Barry, Permanent Secretary, Minister of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment. This juncture, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call on the Minister of Transport, Works and Infrastructure to the podium. Welcome to you, sir.
Your Excellency, Aya Fatoumata Jallow Tambajang, Vice President of the Republic of the Gambia, the Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, Honorable Cabinet members and colleagues, the representatives of the EIF, that is the Enhanced Integrated Framework Board and Executive Secretariat, permanent secretaries and heads of institutions present, service chiefs, members of the National Assembly, the regional governors who were here, board of directors, management and staff of all the institutions operating at BIA, which is the Banjul International Airport. The cargo complex is a joint venture project under the Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment, and the Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure. And I'm also glad that the Permanent Secretary of Trade mentioned the need to cooperate and teamwork. In fact, this is an example of teamwork, and I hope it continues in the stages of the operations and management of this complex. The project, as was mentioned a few times, was funded by the EU through the EIF arm, and I am told that it started around 2015. The project is both consistent with and timely in the implementation of our National Development Plan, which was recently launched, and our National Transport Policy, which was recently finalized. In line with the NDP and the NTP, the complex is intended to expand the services of the Banjul International Airport to now include exportation, importation as well, of agricultural and fisheries products, thus increasing trade activities, which is positive, which is going to be positive for the economy at large, and it is going to be beneficial to the concerned communities who are fully represented here. Your Excellencies, the Minister of Transport, Works and Infrastructure, and the Minister of Trade are both determined through our partnership to turn the Banjul International Airport not only into a passenger travel hub, but also a trading hub in the region. And the way we do it, or we are going to do this, is by providing the necessary infrastructure and the necessary services. This complex is a step in that direction. I can assure you that. We note that a significant volume of our export cargo is presently lifted from Dakar, leaving a small balance for the BIA to handle. This will change with the commissioning of this complex. It will also justify air freighters to come to this airport to uplift shipments to outside destinations. I am confident that the GIA and the GCAA will take immediate initiatives, if not already, to lure freighters into the Banjul International Airport and to engage the necessary partnerships for a national carrier, as was mentioned by the MD of GCAA. Your Excellencies, we are aware that flight operations are capital intensive. Also, that their sustainability depends on a number of passengers and cargo, on the number of passengers and cargo in the market. Both factors, however, can be generated from our management capacity, from our marketing skills, and from the use of our strategic location for flights in the region and those to America, Europe, Middle East, and Asia. The cargo complex, as you can see, is a prefabricated structure, and the contract for its erection and installation works was won by a local contractor, as was mentioned, Torodo Builders of Sheikh Omar Jigo, in partnership with a foreign firm. The Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure provided technical backup to the project implementation unit, which included some of the airport engineers working closely with the international consultants as a way of enabling technology transfer. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, sustainability of the project is our primary concern. I am sure GIA has already put in place adequate measures to ensure that the complex does not end up as a white elephant. The ministry will provide all the necessary support. Finally, may I take this opportunity to thank all the staff of GIA, the Ministry of Trade, the Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure, the GCAA, and of course the EU/AIF, and all stakeholders for making this project a reality. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. At this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, before inviting Her Excellency the Vice President to the podium, we'd like to present to you the nation's pride, Gambia's cultural ambassador, our UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador, no one other than Jelaba Kuyat and the Kumere Band. They just gave us 3 minutes, and then the Vice President will be welcome to the podium. Gambia's cultural ambassador, Geneva Kuyate, and the Kumena Band. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to the moment we've all been waiting for. Can you please join me in giving Her Excellency, the Vice President, a big round of applause as we welcome her on stage. Welcome to you, Madam.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Honorable Cabinet Ministers, Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly, representatives of the Executive Secretariat of IEF and WTO, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, donor representatives, His Excellency in absentia, Ambassador of Turkey and donor facilitator, representatives of the private sector, members of the media fraternity, communities of West Coast Radio, namely Busumbala, Yundum, Farato, etc. Members of the service security, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I would like to apologize for His Excellency Adama Barrow, President Adama Barrow, who would have loved to be here today, but due to other prior to engagements, official engagements, he is unable to be with you here today. I would therefore have the honor and pleasure to read his statement. It reads, "It gives me great pleasure to deliver this statement to officially open the trade facilitation project known as the Airport Cargo Complex. I'm aware that this complex is supported by the Enhanced Integrated Framework, which has been in partnership with the government of the Gambia since 2009, with the aim of bringing together partners and resources to support the harnessing of trade for inclusive growth and sustained development. My government, recognizing the support that the EIF has brought to the country through the Ministry of Trade and all trade-related institutions. We are grateful for this initiative for providing financial and technical support to build trade facilitation through the framework of a very prominent institution, which is the Gambia International Airlines, in partnership with CCIA. I thank the leaders for this vision and with the support of the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure with other private sector related institutions. I also salute the constructors, namely the Torodo builders under Sheikh Omar Jigo, and also the foreign partner. I'm very happy about the establishment of this cargo complex and would also like to recognize the hard work of all stakeholders involved in its realization. I believe that all the actors come together and continue to work assiduously. This complex could play a contributing role in supporting the private sector development, particularly small-scale investors, women, and aspiring young entrepreneurs. One of the major challenges we are facing in the Gambia, as has been highlighted by previous speakers, are trade facilitation projects or facility. This cargo complex, therefore, which is equipped with live scanners to reduce the processing time of clearing goods and a cold room to preserve preservable goods to improve the quality of garment exports for greater international markets, will play an important role in ensuring that the Gambia repositions itself in trade and trade investments. This initiative has the potential to improve trade facilitation and increase logistic infrastructure and services at the Banjul International Airport through improved institutional arrangements, human capacity building, and enhancement of support services. The project, as previous speakers have said, would also ensure transparent, secured, and competitive airport services to businesses, including young Gambians in the diaspora willing to invest in the Gambia. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this project at GIA will also better able to reposition the Gambia in terms of safety and security standards in handling of cargo and passenger traffics, and will be able to increase the number of airlines serving and accepting cargo from the Gambia. The project will also improve the overall image of the Gambia, positioning the country as an attractive freight cargo hub in the sub-region, therefore contributing to future economic development and prosperity. It is envisaged that the results of the project will stimulate both local and national economy, hence contribute to improved livelihoods in the cultural and fisheries export subsectors. This is the end of the statement. However, I would like to convey to His Excellency the President the very good recommendations that have been made by the CCIA and GIA in terms of ensuring or helping to have a homegrown airline facility that would increase the sustainability of this trade facilitation project. I think this is a very important element in trade and investment, and I would like to inform this gathering that the government is working assiduously to ensure that by the end or middle or at any stage of its governance, it will be able to attract a homegrown airline that will not only champion the cause of the Gambia in trade and investment in the sub-region, but also open markets in the global economy. We know that the economy in the Gambia cannot grow by itself. It is interdependent, and given that the Gambia doesn't have all the raw materials, it would have to work in hand with the sub-region and the global market in order to ensure that there is strategic partnerships in not only providing the products and services, but also enhancing knowledge sharing, information, communication technology. On that note, on my own humble behalf, I thank you so much, because this facility is not only going to contribute particularly to entrepreneurs, but specifically to women who have been really working so hard in the horticulture, animal husbandry, and other services, yet they are never able to realize their potentials in terms of exporting and importing. We do hope that the women can now have the core rooms, use the core rooms for their horticultural produce, and they can also import other services that they need in the sub-region. So on that note, on behalf of the Gambian women, I would like to pray that this facility brings in more facilities in GIA and CCA, and also the Ministry of Trade and Industry, Ministry of Works and Infrastructure, and also the Gambia at large. God bless all of us. May Allah continue to guide us and protect us as a nation. May Allah help those donors who are going out to look for funding in the name of the Gambia be given more funds to look for Gambia. For EIF, special thanks, because we know that coming from a donor community, that many donors are not usually into infrastructural development. But because Gambia is stable, because we are an emerging democracy, because we have been patient for 22 years and have been able to bring our people back, you are ready to give us some exception. So on behalf of the government of His Excellency the President, the government of the Gambia, including the people of the Gambia, we thank EIF, and we would like you to convey to your operators, to your donors, that we will make this facility a model in Africa. And in terms of sustainability also, I'm happy that our able Minister of Works and Infrastructure has given his commitment to provide all the infrastructural support in terms of post-project operations. That is most important. It is not only a project. The project will remain, can become an elephant, white elephant, if the sustainability aspect is not given. And fundamentally, we also like to know and appreciate that this project has been nationally driven. Hence, there is hope that it will be sustained by not only the operators, by the institutions, but also it will create opportunities, job employment opportunities for the communities around this area. Thank you so much. God bless you all.
On behalf of the Executive Organizing Committee, GIA, we thank you very much. And we want to make presentations of 2 certificates to His Excellency the President and the Vice President, welcoming you, the Board Chairman, GIA, Mr. Haidara, to the podium, please.
After the deliberation of the various speeches, the delegates gathered for the official opening of the multi-million-dollar cargo center. This center has 24-hour security, a room that has the capacity of holding 40 tons of goods, perishable and non-perishable, 4 forklift vehicles, CCTV cameras for security, capacity to cater for the private and middle-earning farmers or individuals, security monitors to carefully check the cargo, an air-conditioned or cooling compartment for goods, as well as a highly secured locker for expensive equipment and goods.
Fankanta manjaw ya muno longole mu boroti Masane yela dunia banani dunia bambalin Ita bolonda la mansane sise Ita bolonda la mansane sise dunia bedene mansane la Fankanta manjaw ya muno longole mu boroti